starting now, right? Okay, we'll be starting right now. Welcome to the Jitsin English debate competition. Debaters, after I read the motion, you will have 15 minutes to prepare. You may use any books or devices you find helpful. Each of you will speak for up to 4 minutes. You may never interrupt the speaker speaking. I will put a reminder in the chat when you have 1 minute left and remind you again when you are out of time. If that happens, you may finish your sentence, but then you must sit down. You will have 60 seconds between speakers to work with your team. Be respectful and listen carefully to your opponents. Remember, after the debate, you will give them feedback on how to become better debaters. Audience, you may not leave if a student is speaking, and you may not talk with the teams. Now, before we begin, affirmative team, what is your team number?
102.
Can you repeat that?
102.
102. Okay. Are there any affirmative team members missing? Is everyone present in team 102? Or is there anyone missing?
There's no missing people.
All right, thank you. Negative team, what is your team number? Negative team, what is your team number?
I'm sorry, there was a mistake, but the affirmative is 101 and the negative is 102. I'm sorry.
All right, no problem. Affirmative team is 101, negative team is 102. Are there any negative team members missing?
No.
Or are all present? Okay. Moving on. So today's motion is students should learn to play a musical instrument. You have 15 minutes starting now.
A very good morning to the adjudicators, members of the floor.
Wait, hold on.
Sorry, just now it's a bit laggy.
No, it's fine. You have 15 minutes to prepare still.
Oh.
Time is up. Speaker 1 for the affirmative team. What is your student ID? Letter A, B, or C?
A.
Okay, thank you. Please turn on your camera, introduce yourself, and begin.
A very good morning to the adjudicators, members of the floor, and my fellow opponents. I am the first speaker of the affirmative team. My name is Lim Xingyue. As the first speaker, I will be explaining the topic's meaning, giving some points. My second speaker will be talking about learning a musical instrument can improve students' memory while practicing and be more creative. My third speaker will be giving points of playing musical instruments makes students smarter and it helps to relieve stress, including giving some rebuttals. Today's topic is students should learn a musical instrument, referring to people who still active in academic education without age limitations, and to learn at least one musical instrument. We, the affirmative team, strongly agrees to today's topic. Learning a musical instrument can increase discipline and time management skill of students as they are distracted by technology in their daily life. Learning to play an instrument isn't a skill you can master overnight. Learning music takes time and effort and helps students to understand that if they want to be good at something, they'll need to put in the hours and organize their time efficiently. Playing an instrument helps the students to get comfortable with self-expression. As students begin to master their instrument, they will probably end up playing to a few audience, starting with their music teacher or parents, maybe branching out to groups of pupils and a concert audience as well. Playing in public can help students to feel confident in presenting their work in any situation, including academic contexts. And in conclusion, my points are learning a musical instrument can increase discipline, improves time management of students, and it helps students to get comfortable with self-expression. And I finish my speech. Thank you.
Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Starting now. Time is up. Speaker 1 for the negative team. What is your student ID letter? A, B, or C?
B.
All right, thank you. Please turn on your camera, introduce yourself, and begin.
A very good morning to the judges, members of the floor, and my worthy opponents. I'm Lim Yitong, the first speaker of our team. Our team strongly disagree with today's topic, which is students should learn to play musical instruments. We agree with the definition given by the affirmative team. Today, as the first speaker, I will be talking to you about the first and second point. Our second speaker will be giving out rebuttals and talking about the second and third point. Our third speaker will rebut and sum our team case. The first speaker of the affirmative team has tried to tell you that everyone should learn to play a musical instrument. This is wrong, because not every single person should be required to learn a musical instrument. Yes, it is encouraged, but not compulsory. There is no denying the benefits of playing a musical instrument. Yet, it is forced upon students. It might have a negative impact on them. Most music enthusiasts see playing an instrument as a stress reliever, but for students who are not musically inclined or lack of musical talent, it's just another thing to worry about. You may even get mental illness because of stress. This defeats the whole purpose of compulsory musical instrument lessons. And now I'll be discussing 2 points. The first point is that learning a musical instrument costs a lot of money. You need money to buy the instruments and books and so on. Learning instruments like piano or violin cost more money. The grading test needs money, and when an instrument is broken, it needs to be repaired too. When a grade goes higher, it will price even more. Students from low-income families would not be able to afford it. If the students decide to give up when they're bigger, what is the point of learning musical instruments? It would only be a waste of money. My second point is learning a musical instrument is very time consuming. You need to generally practice a minimum of 30 minutes a day to keep in playing shape. More progress is made playing 1 to 2 hours per day. Even more time taken if you want to be a top player. If you don't practice regularly, you feel like you are back to square one each time you play. Even 2 or 3 days not practicing, you feel like you're reversing progress. It's definitely not like riding a bicycle. Learning how to play a musical instrument can take years to master it and take a lot of time to learn the different techniques needed. Some instruments are more time consuming than others. String instruments like guitar or violin are very time consuming, as it is the piano. Piano takes a lot of time to be able to play complicated pieces. Hence, I believe it would be unwise to make it compulsory for students to learn a musical instrument. Thank you.
Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time starts right now. Time is up. Speaker number 2 for the affirmative team. What is your student ID letter?
B.
Okay, thank you. Please turn on your camera, introduce yourself, and begin.
Okay. A very good morning to the judges, my team member, and my opponents. My name is Ng Le Yun, and I'm the second speaker of the alternative team. My team strongly agree with today's topic, which is students should play musical instrument. First and foremost, learning musical instrument will improve someone's memory. Recently, a line of research has been developed that aims at using musical training and practice as alternative tools for boosting specific perceptual, motor, cognitive, and emotional skill, both in health population and in neurologic patients. Studies show that Learning to play a musical instrument can induce substantial neuroplasticity change in cortical and subcortical regions of motor, auditory, and speech processing networks in healthy population. In short, learning music activates our brain. Report result of field study showing that training with musical instrument can help positive efforts on motor, emotional, and cognitive. So, learning to play a musical instrument can enhance verbal memory, spatial reasoning, and literacy skill. Playing an instrument makes you use both sides of your brain, which strengthen memory power. Next, playing music makes you more creative. Creativity is an important skill that everyone needs to handle well in this new modern era. Playing musical instrument will enhance one's creativity because practicing and perfecting a piece of music does wonders for creative side of the brain. We strongly disagree with the saying of the opposite theme of the playing of musical is wasting a lot of money. The the first speaker of the negative team state that students will be wasting a lot of money because they must play musical instrument. But the topic of today is students should play but not must. Besides that, I'm going to sing about the second point of the which is the lot money wasting when we play the musical instrument. Musical instrument is not expensive for every musical instrument. It's also got the more cheaper price musical instrument, such as a flute that is only I think 10 ringgit around. And besides that, the wasting of money can also train student about responsible about taking care about your self instrument. In short, my team strongly agree with today's topic of students should play musical instrument as it brings a lot of benefits such as learning musical instrument will improve one's memory and playing music makes you more creative. I have finished my speech and thank you for listening.
Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time is up. Speaker number 2 for the negative team. What is your student ID letter?
C.
Okay. Thank you. Please turn on your camera, introduce yourself, and begin.
A very good morning to the judges, members of the floor, and my worthy opponents. I'm Lee User, the second speaker of our team. As our first speaker said, I will be rebutting the second speaker of the affirmative team, defending our first speaker's points and giving out the third point. And now I will be rebutting what the benefits of the second speaker said are true, but only to students who are interested. What if the student is not interested? As our first speaker said, it might have a negative impact on them, which now I will say my third point. It may create physical harm to the students. Creating musical pleasure is causing musicians a lot of pain. Music may grant cathartic satisfactions and few other human occupation can match, but from many it also exacting a heavy price. In chronic afflictions of muscle and tendons, heavy incidence of coronary heart disease, and a recent Australian study by Dr. Hunter Fry of 900 professional musicians indicated that half admitted playing with some kind of job related hurt. It may be fair to estimate that more of that 900 people are keeping quiet, and also learning an instrument may cause hearing loss. Hearing loss is widespread among orchestra musicians and not to mention rock players. Close proximity in orchestra beats and amplification are the causes of deafness. Whether it is stress or the general hazard of the occupation, musicians don't seem to live as long as other people. One study based on death records kept between 1959 and 1967 by a National Musicians Union showed that the average age of death was shockingly 54 years old as opposed to 69 nationwide. The study covered all fields of music, classical and popular. In the end, our team is still strongly disagree with today's topic. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time starts now. Time is up. Speaker number 3 for the affirmative team. What is your student ID letter?
C.
All right. Thank you. Please turn on your camera, introduce yourself, and begin.
A very great morning to the judges, my member, and my opponents. I am the third speaker of the affirmative team. My name is Tan Roning. We all the affirmative team strongly agree that students should learn to play a musical instrument. Before giving my points, I would like to rebut the point which is waste time and occupational problem given by speaker 1 and speaker 2 from opponents. Waste time given by the speaker 1 is wrong. This is because if taking 2 hours for a day to practice, a week you will spend 14 hours and just occupy 8.2 33% of your time, so it will be not use too much time to involve it. Besides, learning to play a musical instrument is not only to let you involve yourself in job. It is just a supplementary in our life. Of course, if you are very interested in musical instrument, you can become a musical, but you should bear the consequence. Aside from the statements given by my teammates, I would like to share another 2 points. Learning to play a musical instrument can make you smarter. Einstein once said, "Life without playing music is inconceivable to me. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music and I get most joy in life of music." And as it turns out, Einstein was onto something. Many studies show a correlation between musical training and academic success. Learning to play an instrument stimulates the brain, improving function like memory and abstract reasoning skills, which are essential for math and science. Besides, playing an instrument also can relieve stress. Psychologist John Wood believes that slow classical music is often the most beneficial. This is because this type of music can slow the pulse and heart rate, lower blood pressure, and decrease the levels of stress hormone. Lastly, I would like to sum up the points given by our team. From the view of personal skills, learning to play a musical instrument can make you be confident and more creative. Besides, it also helps you to increase discipline and time management skills. This matter and improve your memory in academic performance, while it can relieving stress by considering your mentality health. So we all the affirmative team strongly agree that students should learn to play a musical instrument. That's all our team opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Starts now. All right, time is up. Speaker number 3 for the negative team. What is your student ID letter?
A.
Okay, thank you. Please turn on your camera, introduce yourself, and begin.
Good morning to the judges, members of the floor, and my worthy opponents. I'm Daniel Saw, the third speaker of our team. Our team strongly disagrees with today's topic, which is students should learn to play a musical instrument. The first affirmative speaker has tried to tell you that learning musical instruments could help us with our time management. But I could prove this to be false because studies have shown that most of the students that learn musical instruments are forced by their parents to learn them. So they really don't benefit anything from that. Instead, they think of musical lessons as a burden to them and they try to avoid it as possible. So this not only deteriorates their discipline and their time management skills, but this also lowers their level with other musicians. The second affirmative speaker has also said that learning musical instruments could improve your memory and your communication skills and etc. But then our second speaker has said that learning musical instruments can cause physical harm to musicians. So what is the use of your skills if you die an early death. The final speaker of the affirmative team also has said that 2 hours a day takes up only a tiny bit of percentage in our lives. But then, imagine what we could do in 2 hours. I could bake, I could cook, I could read a book, and I could even do a full body workout, which is many times better than taking up a musical instrument. Plus, taking up sports is basically free, except for the equipment, which you only have to buy one time. And I would also like to state that musical instruments will apply stress. Studies have shown that there is a heavier incidence of high blood pressure, rapid heart action, and coronary attacks than in other professions. Studies have shown that noise adversely affects blood pressure and can induce anger and aggression. This totally defeats the purpose of stress relieving and blood pressure lowering. Instead, it just worsens the condition. Our first speaker has said that most students are forced to learn musical instruments, and those who are forced may have a negative impact on them. This is true. And our second speaker has stated that learning an instrument can afflict physical ailments to musicians. This defeats the whole purpose to learning musical instruments for a healthier lifestyle. I would like to summarize this because Oppenheimer, a famous critic, once said that music education is not a precursor to musical enjoyment. He concludes that a great fan doesn't need lessons, and those with lessons don't tend to become fans. The value of arts education is not that it makes kids better at math or more graceful in the lunch line. The biggest value is joy. There's a simple joy to be found in community, in self-expression, and even in school. Sure, kids can learn self-discipline, problem-solving, and perseverance via sports or even by building model airplanes. Forcing kids to have private music and dance lessons doesn't make them more poised, better at math, or turn them into lifelong patrons of the music. Unless the kid is having a blast learning how to play the violin or is a true child prodigy, there's no real point. There are many more activities that could provide more benefits than learning musical instruments, which students would prefer over music classes. Since learning musical instruments is outclassed by many, then why and who must learn it? You must say that music is a type of art that must be passed down. As said already, a great fan doesn't need lessons, and those with lessons don't tend to become fans. In the
Time's up.
end, our team still firmly disagree with today's topic. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So, before I announce the winner, each team must give up to 90 seconds of feedback and advice to the other team. You may divide this time however you like. To score well, you must be cautious, constructive, and kind. Do not use this time to keep arguing the motion. Instead, focus on how your opponents could become better debaters. You have 90 seconds to plan your feedback. I am not allowed to give any feedback of my own. Starting now. it is time for the peer feedback session. Please speak from your seats. I will stop each team after 90 seconds. Negative team, you may go first, starting now.
Today match is well done. I would like to congratulate everyone. And I think that your only weakness is that you didn't really clarify the points, and that everyone could work on that and do better. Thank you.
Is that all for the negative team? Does anyone from the negative team want to give their own feedback as well?
No.
Okay. Then we shall move on to the affirmative team, starting now. Does anyone from the affirmative team would like to give any feedback towards the other team?
Let me start first. I think the opposite team really does a good job, and everyone, everyone, everyone. Wait, everyone take out their points very clear and not bad. I think it's okay. That's all.
Okay. A second. All right, it is now time to announce the winner. This round goes to the affirmative team. Now, please turn on your webcams and congratulate one another. All right.